Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 17. Today we will look at the difference between procrastinate, postpone, and put off. There are some similarities between them, but there are some clear differences. So let's look at procrastinate first. It's probably a little easier to separate procrastinate from put off and postpone. So let's look at it. Let's look at the definition first. To procrastinate means to delay something until later, especially something that you consider to be unpleasant, painful, or boring. Yeah, that's the main thing about postpone. Usually you do it, you don't want to face it. You don't want to, you're trying to avoid it. You're trying to stay away from it. So this is why you end up procrastinating, you end up delaying more and more. Generally, it is about something you should do now. It is about something usually that it's better to do it now, it's better to do it earlier. But you should do now, but don't just want to deal with the discomfort. And often you somehow wish it would just take care of itself, or it would go away on its own. Maybe if you did nothing long enough, maybe the problem would disappear. But we know that doesn't usually happen in real life. But that's what procrastinate is. So procrastinate definitely has the feature of being unpleasant or being painful. So that's one of the things that's kind of stopping you. All right, let's take a look at some typical examples. Sandy should stop procrastinating if she wants to break up with her boyfriend. It is better to do it all at once. Maybe she's not brave enough to do it, or maybe just she can't bear seeing the painful face on her boyfriend's face, or his expression when she breaks up with him. So that might be one of the reasons. All right, let's look at number 2. Larry has a serious toothache, but he is procrastinating to schedule a dentist appointment because he has a fear of dentists. All right, in this case, it's definitely painful. It's actually even a physical pain. And it may also be to do with fear, but so this is why he's postponing. If you have a toothache, you don't want it to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But again, that's kind of the idea. Maybe some people, if they have a toothache, maybe they just wish, oh, maybe it'll go away tomorrow. Maybe it'll be okay. But if it's serious enough, you're probably going to eventually have to go. The third one, of course, we could say James has procrastinated cleaning his room because it is too boring and time-consuming. This is the one that is least, but we often do say this when somebody doesn't clean their room, they're just procrastinating. Like, it doesn't matter, we can keep putting it off until tomorrow, delay until the next day. So in this case, procrastinating it's more to do with the last part I said. Just boring. And maybe you feel like, it's just going to take too long. I don't want to bother with it. Okay, let's take a look at postpone. Let's take a look at the second one. This is probably the most formal of the three. Postpone is usually used in more formal or official situations. There is usually a good reason why it cannot be done at this time. And there is often an effort already to reschedule or be in the process of rescheduling. Yeah, so again, more formal, more serious sort of situations. It is commonly used for events, especially sports events. I'm somebody who used to follow baseball, and you would often hear that the game got postponed due to rain. That's what we say. So that's actually our first example here. Today's baseball game has been postponed because of rain and will be rescheduled for tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of times in the baseball game they immediately reschedule it. If you're lucky, maybe they had a day off, they can reschedule it. Or sometimes in baseball, that's how they create a double header. Sometimes they can't really reschedule it, so they decide to have just 2 games in one day. And so that's what often happens with postpone. Okay, all right, let's take a look at the second one. Concert, another event. That concert was postponed due to a serious typhoon and will be rescheduled for a date to be renamed later. Um, yeah, basically. So here, what they're trying to say is that maybe they can't make the date immediately, but they're in the process of doing it. They're trying to figure out when they can actually schedule it. And okay, let's go right to put off. All right, we do hear put off a lot. Put off is kind of a general usage. Put off might actually even be more common than both postpone and procrastinate together. But put off has some elements of procrastinate and postpone, but there are some clear differences. You might put off doing something now out of laziness, which could be a little similar to procrastinate, but the level of discomfort is usually not as serious. Yeah, so when you, again, it doesn't feel as painful or as annoying, but you are just a little lazy and you figure you have some time. So we often say that we put it off. In more formal situations like postpone, so there is a little bit of a crossover. I mean, that's why they can be used a little bit in some situations, interchangeably. You will put things off because you need the situation to change or improve. Perhaps a future date has some advantage, or you need to wait for supplies. Yeah, that's why you may end up putting it off. I mean, it could be in a factory, they need to wait for supplies, they put it off for that reason. Or maybe a later date will somehow make it better for you. So we say put off in those situations. Okay, alright, here's another point to note. With put off, the time when you will deal with the issue is often less clear, because it may depend on the circumstances. Alright, I gave some examples where this could be true. So let's look at the first one. Let's put off the project A for now because project B is more urgent. So you may have started A, it's just not finished yet, but suddenly B, this other project comes up and this project needs to be taken care of immediately. Maybe the circumstances have changed. So you're putting project A, sometimes we might say on the back burner. Just put it aside. We have to put more attention and more focus on B because B needs to get done right now. Alright, so this doesn't really have anything to do with discomfort or boredom. It's kind of a urgent or an emergency situation. So that's why you're putting it off. That construction company put off working on this house until the new supplies arrive. Yeah, again, maybe you need to wait for something to change. You need to wait for supplies to come. And in both of these situations, the rescheduled date is a little unclear. Like with A, you don't know how long B is going to take, and you're probably not going to bother with A again until B is finished. And in the second example, you have to wait for the supplies. You might have an idea of a time frame, but you may not know the exact day all your supplies arrive together. So the rescheduling or doing the project in the future is not as clear. And then there's the last one. I'm too tired. Let's put it off until tomorrow. This one does have a clear date. It is the next day. But again, nothing to do with discomfort or pain. Maybe well, a little bit of tiredness, but it's not so serious. It's not usually like procrastinate. Here, if you had more energy, you'd probably finish it off right now. Okay. Well, I hope you can see some differences between these. Like I say, there is a little bit of a crossover. But again, to just review very quickly, procrastinate definitely has more unpleasant feeling, more painful feeling. Postpone is definitely more formal situations. Especially meetings are postponed. And put off, like I said, focuses more around circumstance or the situation, and it's for some reason it's probably better to delay it for the time being. Okay. I hope that clarifies things. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.